this girl talking about how she needs his in her. I don't think I need that, or how he's her and shoving his in her in her. I don't even know about that. Where can we start? And people can hear me, by the way, so this is annoying. This episode is a little different because I'm not recording it on my normal record day, so it's already getting me enough. I hate having to turn my fan off because this room is boiling fucking hot right now. Everybody and their mother is home right now, so people can hear me, and whenever somebody talks or is on their phone, I can hear it loud as day. So I feel like I'm gonna have to whisper talk most of this, and I'm gonna just bring my microphone closer. Also, bad update, my internet isn't working for some reason. My Alexa didn't work, my TV didn't work, my computer is not working right now. So the thing I was gonna do, I have to pull it up on phone now, on my phone, whatever. Anyways, literally, it's also going bad. No drink. I have a drink every single goddamn fucking episode. I don't have one today. Oh my god, I don't have one, so that's awful. Also, another thing, this is my last week on my current work schedule, which is I work Monday through Thursday 6 to 4. And normally I record these episodes during the work day, during my work week. So like on the Tuesday normally I record. Oh my god, if you can hear that, I'm gonna kill myself. Anyways, normally I record this on a Tuesday after work around like 6 something. I'm gonna pray to all heaven earth that you cannot hear the music right now. I'm just gonna pretend like it's not existent so that we just like get through this, because Jesus Christ, is this going to actually irk the shit out of me. Anyways, yeah, I don't have my drink on me. I think I've repeated that 47,000 times. I don't have a drink on me. I have this water bottle with me. The one covered in my stickers. I have no internet. Anyways, as I was talking about my work schedule. Oh my god. Anyways, oh my Jesus Christ. This is gonna be cut so many times. This is gonna be raw. I don't give a shit. I'm done. I'm fucking fed up. Oh my god. Anyways, as I was saying, normally I record my episodes after work on Tuesdays around like 6 something, right? 6, 7. Anyways, but now this is my last week. They told me today this is my last week on the first shift, which is that turn that I have. And mind you, I asked for the change, so 100% it wasn't like forced upon me. I just wish that it wasn't like they told me so last second. Well, they asked me when I was ready, and they wanted to do that shit for me in 2 weeks. But so like not this next week, because I don't work this next week. The week after that follows the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st, which is only 2.5 days that we would be working because of the holiday. But I was like, I requested those days off because I did not want to come in, so I can't do those days. And they said, okay, January 5th, aka the day I come back. Holy shit! My fucking ringer was on. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna flip. I'm actually gonna kill myself. So, I said, okay, so this is like, it's gonna be a little different on how I record. I'm probably gonna record in the mornings. To me, I'm gonna have to adjust, so shit's like a little wonk, a little weird, which normally it is because I can't do anything right. But just bear with me a little bit because I'm gonna switch up. I'm gonna have to get used to my new work schedule, which is annoying because now I work 3:30 to 2. Yeah, 3:30 in the afternoon to 2 in the morning. Thankfully, my job is only 2 minutes away from my house. So, I literally will be home around 2:05. I'll, like, shower, eat, and then by, like, 3:30, dead asleep. And I'll wake up probably around 9-ish. Do my shit, whatever. I'm low-key excited because I am sick of waking up at 5:15 in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I actually fucking hate waking up in the morning, and I think waking up in the morning, when the sun's not out, I think it's the bane of my fucking existence, and I'm so excited to not be doing that anymore. low key, but also like I feel like it was sort of a spur of the moment decision that I'm looking gonna regret it. Like the second they told me that I was gonna actually go to the night shift, I was like, oh, and I almost killed myself right there. It was awful, not awful, but you know the feeling. And yeah, that so yeah, I'm dealing with that. Um, oh, I listened to a new book. I didn't read, I listened. I started reading The Nightfall Market. I think that's what I mentioned. I started reading that. I got to chapter 5. It's pretty good. It's pretty good so far. Right now, I only finished the introduction, and then I was like, I'm gonna take a fat fucking nap. So I pause. We'll be getting back into it because it's actually pretty good. But I listened to this audiobook. Y'all can sue me. I almost killed myself. I don't know. Killed myself. That's crazy. It's called Spellcaster. I don't know about y'all, but when did this fucking book come out? When did this shit come out? Because it definitely left. Oh, it released this year, September 22nd. It is perfect if you love Who Hurt You, slow burn, enemy to lovers, elemental magic, dark academia, fuck it moments, consent is sexy. So, my thoughts about this book. Mind you, I'm just the world's biggest I fucking hate man on earth. So the man being Loki a cunt was not very helpful on his end. His name's Logan Kingston. I'm pretty sure that's what his name was. Wanted him dead the whole time. I don't know about y'all, but wanted him dead. The second he kept calling the main girl Precious, I gagged every single time. I gagged. I wanted to kill myself. I don't know. That's just not for me. Also, the voice actor, no hate, no shade, because he was voicing every other male, and they were actually sounded like they were 22. But for some reason, Kingston, I'm just gonna call him Kingston. I don't give a shit. Logan, whatever. I don't know him like that. Whenever Kingston was talking, mind you, a 24-year-old, he has the most nasally, deepest voice, and he's Italian. What the fuck? Like, no. And he kept calling her Precious, and that disgusted the fuck out of me. I was disgusted. No, every single time, me about to attempt the voice is crazy. He would be like, oh no, I'm not gonna attempt it. Holy shit. But, it was awful. I didn't like it. The book, whatever, it's fine. Ended on a cliffhanger. I loved the family in the story, I want to call them Hallisters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were Hallisters. They're the goats. I like all the siblings. Jenna, I'm pretty sure is one of the twins. Lesbian. That's my goat. She has a bear named Morris. Funny as fuck. And then her twin sister Allison, has a sheep named Simon. His name's Simon. And then the other brothers are cool. Yeah, they're funny to me. I find them funny. Bella is cool. Well, she was cool. Her friend group was cool. I liked her friend group. Haley, the introverted bookworm, she was funny. I liked her. Logan though, I don't know about y'all, but I wanted him to. Hey! I don't know what it is. Me literally reading fantasies, romance fantasy books, and I'm just like, why is there fucking romance in here? Well, the reason I don't like the dynamic of the story is because the guy is not just an enemy, the guy's a cunt. And even like if he's not trying to be an enemy, he's a cunt. I don't know. I'm just not into cunt. I'm just not into assholes, I guess. He's like, me literally about to attempt the voice again. I literally can't help it. I don't know. He just pissed me off the whole time. I think the story was great. Great. Like the story's great. I'm not gonna go into deep into it. The plot line to me was good. You know, I'm like trying to think. I'm like trying to think how to explain it. It was a good read. Marcus, the other guy in there, who was like the other potential love interest, need him dead. Hey, need him dead, need him dead. I need all these men actually dead, other than the siblings and the dad. Loki, need them all gone. Need them all to perish. They all piss me off, pussies. Like the part when the book started, when I first started listening to it, and like it was kind of hinted that like Marcus, Loki, like Marcus and Paige, they were like, I'm pretty sure her name's Paige. I'm just gonna say it's Paige. Marcus and Paige, they were like Loki, like maybe there could be something. I knew in my soul it wasn't gonna be him. It never is. So I was like, it's not gonna be him. It's obviously gonna be a fucking cunt, Logan. So I like knew in my soul it wasn't gonna be him, but like he low-key ghosted her, so I was like, oh, lame. And then like, oh my god, it was like towards the end when he like did his little love confession. I don't know about y'all, but he started saying that shit and I gagged. He was like, I think you're awesome, and I was like, I was like, enough, don't piss me off. I was mad. I was annoyed. Hey, I don't know about y'all. It did leave on a cliffhanger. I was low-key annoyed about that. Cause like, the cliffhanger was like low-key, like, not out of its ass, but like, the cliffhanger part where we left off, we got like zero information about that, you know? Cause like the cliffhanger Loki had something to do with her mom, but like we got none of the mom in the story, you know? It was like, oh, we'll tell you everything. It's like, what does this got to do? Because they're like, oh, you have 1 year until this soulbind something happens. What? Guys, we were not. The entire book we were focused on the fact that there's monsters killing people, and now we're gonna talk about some soulmate destiny, some bullshit with Logan. What? Whatever. Like, did it kind of low-key leave me wanting for more? Yes. Am I gonna read the second one? Listen to the second one. If it comes out, probably not. Probably not. Because I swear every single fucking chapter started with a sex scene. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want every single chapter to start with the fact that this girl talking about how she needs his in her. I don't think I need that. Or how he's her and shoving his in her I don't even know about that. I'm gonna bleep all that. I'm gonna bleep it. It's gonna be so funny when it's all fucking bleeped because you're not gonna know what I said. But let me tell you some vulgar shit. But anyways, yeah, that was the only crazy part. Deadass, like she's like, yeah, these demons are after us. Like these monsters are after us. Next chapter. So I just had the best orgasm of my life. What? What? Whoa, please, chill the hell out. Chill out. Crazy, but I don't know. Logan pissed me the fuck off. I didn't like him. When do I like anybody? Not never. But yeah, that was that was a book I finished recently. There's so much goddamn noise going on all around me. It's actually gonna make me kill myself. But yeah, Spellcaster. That's what I listen to. What do I want to listen to next? I have no fucking idea. No idea. I'm like thinking there's somebody outside my door. Scary. But yeah. Newest fucking read. Newest read. Listen, I guess. Whatever. Newest one. Hold up. So before I really get into what I'm going to talk about today, which is fanfics and edits. Fuck. Let me just tell you guys, I think since the age of 11, I was writing fanfic. On Instagram, which is crazy. But before that, I wanted to just go through my earbuds wrap because that starts today. And my campfire anthem, the number one song that everybody on my earbuds listened to and agreed on, was Sex Tape by Deftones, obviously. And my campfire anthems, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. Number 1, Sex Tape by Deftones, 532 plays. Number 2, Back to Friends by Somber, 369 plays. Number 3, Everybody Here Wants You. 344 plays. Red Wine by Megan Thee Stallion. 305 plays, and then Let Down Radiohead, 289 plays. My music age. It says I'm 11. Alright. I'm 11 apparently. Oh, great. Everybody for some reason is fucking 11. Whoa, memory lane. Don't make me listen alone. Don't make me drink alone. Don't make me drink alone. Are you mad at me or something? Who else matched your album listening clock? My bitch, Adeline. Happy camper. I will not be informing my group. The earbuds ground is down. Anyways, that's day 1 of my earbuds. I will continue. Anyways, yes, the reason I wanted my computer was so I can pull up this bullshit. It's not working. Anyways, I'm gonna see if they're still in my notes. I used to write. I remember the first fanfic I wrote. Oh! Ah! It's here. Oh my god. 2018. No, wait. In 2018, I was 14. I'm 14 fucking. Well, I was 13 when I wrote it because it's July 16th. So I was 13. Oh my god, I fucking found it. I found it. I'm gagged. Woo! Oh my god. Middle school, bruh. Oh my god, it was my first ever fic. It was called The Love Hunt. It was a soulmate AU. I'm not gonna lie. It was a soulmate AU. With Finn Wolfhard. Let me tell you, I was a very big fan of Stranger Things in 7th grade. That's around the time this is, 7th grade. This is the summer before my 8th grade year. Crazy shit. I posted this on the Instagrams. It blew up a little bit. I remember I was so bored because I was like, shit. I'm like, why is there? What is going on? I'm like trying to read. It's. I'm trying to see. I'm like trying to read what the fuck I wrote. Also, for some reason, we're all like 18, but I'm like knowing damn well, because I'm around the same age as the cast, so we're all obviously all around the same age. So I think Finn is 23. I have no idea now, but we were all around the same age. But for some reason, I was like, "You are 18 and live in a special." I'm gonna read this intro. Gagged. This is the intro or info. You have a sister named Raven. You are 18 and live in a special society. At the age of 15, you all get a tattoo on your right wrist to tell you who your soulmate is. Your father died when you were 13. Okay? Most people find theirs fast, but others take time. No matter the person, they are your perfect fit. The love of your life can be your age or 2 years older or younger. You just have to find out. Me saying this because Finn Wolfhard was 2 years older than me. The way you find out is that your hand tingles, and once your hands lock fingers, they don't feel numb anymore. Yeah. I misspelled, bruh. It's U-S. You haven't found a person, but at 16, you found the person. Okay? You haven't found a person, but at 16 you found the person, but the tingle didn't go away. Your tattoo was wrong. Since your tattoo was wrong, it changed. Not by a lot, but by a bit, so it doesn't look like the other person's. Someone was also having a problem, so they changed someone as well. But you haven't found them yet, but maybe soon. And like 7 dots. Hope you enjoy the story! See, my problem with soulmate AUs, or at least writing them back then, was once you find your soulmate, what the fuck do you do now? Like, you know that's your soulmate. You deadass know that it's written in the stone that that's your soulmate. What the fuck now? You guys have an argument? He cheats with someone else. Why? Why would he cheat with someone else? It's a God-given fact that's your soulmate. Why the fuck, like, what's the conflict now? So, I don't know why I wrote that. I think that's why it's only, like, I swear 300 words. The first sentence was all just a big blob. That was my first ever fic. And then I don't have the rest. I'm so mad. If I I'm trying to see if maybe I'm trying to see if my Instagram is still up with that shit, because that'd be really fucking funny. I'm trying to see. I remember the reason I stopped posting, I was like, yeah, I gotta go to work and I'm not dealing with this bullshit. Bye. And I like dead ass. And I deleted the account. I said bye. Was this it? No, this is my other account. I got hella edits on here, bro. I was sending myself edits, bro. I was like, yeah, because I guess I was. Where is it? I know. Oh! I found the account. I deadass. Oh my god, I found the account. Wait, I had an account. I had a fic before the Love Hunt. It was called Hidden Life. Oh my god. And I remember I ended that shit on a cliffhanger. I didn't give a fuck. I ended most of these on cliffhanger. Oh my god. Hold up. Holy shit. That's crazy, bro. I want to see this Hidden Life info. Same bullshit, bro. 2018, bitch, you know better. You fucking know better. Oh my god. I'm gonna read this shit out loud. I'm actually like, I have a younger brother in this, named Logan. I deadass don't think I ever mentioned that motherfucker in this, if I remember correctly. And of course, me, 13, I'm like, 17, you're 17. Okay. Let's read this. It's about, oh my god, it's so embarrassing, bruh. So, Finn is popular but not famous. You are moving to Vancouver because your mom and dad got divorced. You used to live in Miami but had to move. You didn't move far at first when they got divorced since you had to visit him on the weekends. But later you would come home to your mom with bruises since he was drunk all the time and beat you. No, what the fuck? He said that you were a mistake and should be dead. Your mom couldn't take it, so you moved to Atlanta. But he would always find and beat you. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the hell? But he would always find and beat you. Your mom got a restraining order, but he would beat you. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, bro. He find me and beat me, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck am I writing about? Your mom got a restraining order, but he would beat you, and if you told anyone, he would die in the next 48 hours. What the Oh, your mom had enough, so she's moving to Canada so that you should be safe, or at least you think. What the fuck? Let me tell you, that shit had 55 likes. 55 likes. People are like, more, this is amazing. Oh my god, I'm kind of scared for the book, but let's go on with it. Holy shit. That had a total of Bitch, I deadass gave up. I said, hey guys, I really don't have anything else to write. Mind you, spelled right incorrectly. I don't have anything else to write about, so people voted that this has an ending that doesn't end this plot. So here's my last chapter. I will make a second book in this plot line, but it might not be my next book. Enjoy my last chapter of A Hidden Life. A year later. I deadass did this all the time. I was like, guys, I'm sick of this shit. Done. I did that also with another fic. I will have to open up my Wattpad for that. So me mentioning edits, because I also used to edit, bro. I made edits. I think the last time I made an edit, well, when I was 14, I used to make thirst edits of 40-year-old men and be like, yeah, I want him bad. And then recently I just started making like sad ass edits to like anime shit. That's what I did last, and it was definitely last year. It was last time I made one. What is this last chapter? The doctor says that my mother isn't going to wake up, so they had to pull the plug and end her suffering. I understood that, so I wasn't so upset. I never met Finn's parents, so when I asked him, he told me that they died. But since Nick was old enough, they didn't have to move. We had a funeral for my mother, and it was nice, and it as how she would have wanted it. We went back to the hotel room when I asked Finn a question. Finn, yeah, do you ever think we'll get married, buy a house, have kids? Why wouldn't we? You shrug. Finn says, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is so cornball. I'm skipping this conversation, bruh. I got us a house. Dog, we're like 12. What do you mean you got us a house? I'm sorry you didn't think about our future. It's fine. I should have talked to you about it with you. You and Finn buy furniture for your house and finally you guys move in. Nick wanted to do bigger things, so he moved to Los Angeles. Some dogs, I guess. I guess I got a dog in here somewhere. Finn promised to get another dog for us, so it wasn't so bad. We moved in and I was so happy to finally have a house. Me and Finn are so happy. Well, we were happy. Not all stories have a happy endings. and this, uh, and this happens to be one of them. One of them that don't. We were sleeping one night when there was a crash. I woke up, but Finn didn't. Deep sleeper. I went to check what it was when something hit me. There's more in the comments. There's more in the comments. Finn won't find her? Okay. So, there's more in the comments. I went to check what it was when something hit me over the head. Finn's POV. I woke up one morning to see YN not in bed. I called her name, but nothing. I saw a broken window and note. It said, Dear Finn, if you read this, then it means that you are late. I killed myself and it's too late. Love. I cried and cried. When he texted me, he told me to look at the news. I didn't care at this point. Searched on TV, and it was a shock. Your POV. Your POV. You wake up in a car. When you see the driver, you never thought it would see that face again. It was my dad. I tried to move, but I was tied to the seat and had take tape. I put take, but it's supposed to be tape. Covered my mouth. Your dad. So you're up. You're wrong. Well, you and your boyfriend put me in jail, so of course I would get out and come after you. I always wanted you dead, but I'm not going to jail again, so you're going to kill yourself. Well, I'm going to push you off and make it look like you did it. You tried to move, but nothing worked. He pulled up to the building and takes you to the roof. He unties you, but doesn't take the tape off, so you won't scream. He kinda down, but when he hit too, you kicked him and pushed him off. Finn's POV. I saw the news. News reporters, we're here in Toronto and found your dad, last name, dead. We think that he killed himself. We find that the only living relative is is your name, last name, but when we checked, she was placed missing. And then Finn, wait, is she still out there? The end! We were like, what the fuck? Why did it end like that? I don't give a shit. Oh my god, yeah. Crazy shit, bro. That shit only 12 chapters. And I said, guys, I don't want to keep fucking writing this no more. That's what I said. I said, I don't want to keep writing this. I'm trying to think. And then I had one more on here. It was called No More. This one was long. It had 48 chapters on it, bro. And I remember... Okay, I remember exactly how this started. It was, another fanfic. There was a Mike Wheeler fic on there. I know that for a fact because I remember writing it, but I was like, no, I'm 11. So I literally, like, scrapped it after, like, 2 chapters. I was like, forget it. But I remember that one, specifically, the No More. It was about, whatchamacallit. It was, the reader was a part of the It cast, and that's how she became friends, and that shit knew Finn Wolfhard or whatever. But I remember specifically at the moment I was reading a different fic, another your reader fic, and it was a Timothy Chalamet but also a Tom Holland one, because at this point I was low key like I'm fucking with them, and in the fic it was a Tom Holland one technically, but they had the reader hate Tom Holland and end up with Timothy Chalamet, and then like low key win Tom Holland like earns their trust back. And I was so like moved by this. I was like, ooh, this made me actually like, I deadass was like, I cannot look at Tom Holland anymore for right now. Like, I remember I was like, for what a point in my life I was like, this fic affected me too much, I can't look at Tom Holland. But I remember I was like, you know what, that was really good. Stole that shit, and I was like, we hate Finn Wolfhard. Like, I don't know why, I just like made him a bad person in the story. And then the reader was like, fuck you, I'm out. And then of course I added Tom Holland to the story. It's like, Tom Holland. And then, oh my god, I ended it on a cliffhanger. Deadass ended it on a cliffhanger because the reader opens the door and he goes, it's you. And then the person is like, question mark, question mark, question mark. Is like, can I come in? Boom. The next post, bruh. I said that shit. Obviously, where is it? People are like, it's Finn, isn't it? More, plus, we need more. And then I remember in the story, for some reason, I made like Noah docs the reader to Finn for some reason. Then he left. And then, what is it? You and Noah. Ugh, forget that fucking Zionist, bro. Fuck no. For some reason, Noah was a friend in this. And it's like, you and Noah finished watching a movie, so he left. You were sitting in the same place when there was a knock on your door. And then also, you had a dog named Bucky in this. Cause Bucky was asleep, so you carried him to the same way as last time and opened the door. And there just happened to be a person standing right in front of the door. And then you, let me guess, Noah? Question mark, yeah. Fine, come in. That was the ending. And then the next post I said, oof. So, I didn't die. If anyone is still here, wow. I disabled my account for about a month or so since I really felt great about this account and story. Since I really feel great. I haven't just been watching Netflix since I stopped. I actually have another account that I wanted to work on, and my other account, no in here. Yes. I don't know what I am honestly gonna do since I don't have a strong connection I did with Stranger Things or with the cast like I did. Embarrassing. I mean, I unfollowed all of them on my personal account and stuff, so I honestly have no idea what to do. And also, if I do continue, I lost my place, to maybe post, I may not continue the story, and I was just reading over it and it made me a bit happy. Also, don't ask about the can I saw yesterday, and it says, yo mamas. That was it. Last post. Whoops. My last post on that, enough Stranger Things. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Not the last time I read fanfic, though. And by other account, I meant my editing account. Yeah, I had an editing account, that I have completely archived. Not a single edit on there. Yeah. And that was on Instagram. And Instagram edits, they were cooking on there. They were cooking. Now I have that account for another thing. So, just for random bullshit. So it's not a fucking Stan account. Or whatever. But now we enter into Wattpad. Oh my god. Crazy bullshit, bro. Where's my shit? I have one story. I started multiples but never finished them because I didn't give a shit. There were some that low-key I was fucking with. And then other ones I was like, yeah, no, what the hell am I doing? There's some that I deleted just entirely. And then there's some that I started but didn't finish. Most of them, a lot were just like, I'm not gonna lie. They were Peter Parker fics. At least I moved on from not writing about actual human beings. I wrote about fictional characters. Were they the Tom Holland versions? Yes. I will not lie, yes. The only fic that I really published that had some sort of traction was one called Gemini, It has 57 published parts, 57 chapters, and I finished it. And then I remember I was gonna continue it when No Way Home started, because I finished it in 2019 with COVID, obviously. And then Far From Home is where I finished it off. I was like, okay, I'm done, because I started writing it because the story follows from Civil War all the way to No Way Home. So any movies that Spider-Man was in, it was written all about that. So it was Civil War. It starts in Civil War, and then it goes into Homecoming, and then it goes into Infinity War, and then it goes to Endgame, and then it goes to Far From Home, and then I low-key was gonna continue it with No Way Home, but then I was like, I'm too old for this. I was like, I'm too grown, because at that point I was 17. At that point I was 17, so I was like, I'm too old. I'm too old for this. Was I 17 or was I 18? I'm gonna be mad as fuck if I was 18 doing that shit. I think I might have been 18. Fuck. No Way Home. I'm praying that shit came out in 21. Okay, yeah. I was 17. I was 17. I was gonna continue it, but then I was like, I low-key don't give a shit no more. So I didn't. Never published it. But the first one, it was, oh my god, I can just tell you the basics, because I remember this shit like it was yesterday, because low-key it was. I started writing this, my first chapter, I definitely edited this, but I started publishing it in 2018. So I jumped straight from writing fanfic from Stranger Things into writing Peter Parker fanfic. I didn't finish uploading it. I finished editing it in 2020, yeah. Yeah, 2020. June 2020 is when I finished fucking with it. Because, No Way Home, Far From Home came out in 2019. And then in 2020 is when I finished it up. But it always took me forever to write chapters, was because I always, like, watch the movie and then copy the dialogue word for word on there, low-key. Because I was like, I'm not gonna get bullshit wrong. That took me way forever. I'm never was doing that again. But I can tell you exactly what it's about. So it starts off with the reader being Tony Stark's daughter, but adopted daughter. There's a lot of lore in this one. This one is a little lore heavy. I actually give a shit about this one. But okay, so it follows off with the reader being okay, so because my favorite characters was like Steve, Tony, and Bucky, and I was like, I'm gonna base it around them. So okay, the story starts off with Tony adopting a child. So it's not his biological kid, but adopting as in found her in the dumpster, because the thing was, the reason she has powers, is because Hydra was at the hospital that she was born in. We're just gonna call her Gemini, because that's low-key, it's better than just calling her Reader. So Gemini was in the hospital, she was born, and then a Hydra agent was pretending to be a nurse and took just a random child, and it happened to be Gemini, and injected her with this like soldier serum, but it was just like gave her the ability to create objects like from will, and the way she could get rid of all of them by like a snap of her fingers. Okay, so this is important, and it was a purpley tint, so her shit's purple. She's purple. And then the reason I call her Gemini was because she's like a double life, two-faced, like Geminis are. That's why I call her Gemini, because while she's also Tony Stark's daughter in the media, she's also IRL. Like, they call her Gemini in the media, but in real life, she's your name, you know? She's Reader, or whatever, and she pretends like she lives a double life, low-key lying to Peter, or whatever. But, as I was saying, so her parents, like, they give her back to her parents, she's, like, leaking low-key this purple goo, and her parents like, ew, what the fuck? So they, like, child abandonment, throw her in the dumpster, she's, like, low-key being eaten by rats, or whatever, and then Tony finds her, she's, like, skin's missing, shit's like gnawed up, so he like takes her, saves her, low-key makes her a cyborg, because isn't that like when a person's half human, half robot, they're a cyborg? Basically, she became a cyborg. So she's able to control her goo better. She's able to control the materialized stuff that she creates. She's able to control it better. She's able to have like, Jarvis has what'd you call it? Tony has Jarvis, like she had I think I called it Ali. I think is what I called it. Her personal AI voice assistant. No, I did not write that shit down. But yeah, I didn't write that shit down. Whoops. Anyways, I'm just gonna say it was Allie. I'm gonna say the AI was Allie. So technically, because she was injected with Hydra materials and stuff, they were able to like brainwash her the way they brainwashed Bucky. So they had like commands or whatever. So basically, how I changed it was instead of whatever. Mind you, I have not watched Iron Man 3 because okay, I did not give a fuck. I've seen like all of them but Iron Man 3, and then like their newer stuff because that shit looks boring as hell. Anyways, so the story was I just completely changed the plot of Iron Man 3 because I didn't watch it and I didn't give a shit. So it's going to be in Iron Man 3, she gets taken over by Hydra. She becomes Madam. It's Hydra but backwards. Ardai. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. So it's just Hydra spelled backwards. She was Madam Ardai. That's what we're going to call her or whatever. And so she went hunting and the point of the plot was for Tony to find her and free her from her evil cast of being the fucking Hydra agent. But because she did that, now her record of being an actual like agent who like being an assassin is now in the media. That is now speculations like the Winter Soldier. There is now evidence of being a Madam Hydra, whatever. I'm just gonna call her Hydra. I don't give a shit. So that's like that just gives it plot, and that actually builds up to later shit. I'm gonna tell you that it builds up to later stuff. And mind you, I did not think of that in the beginning. That dead ass is I pulled out of my asshole. When I started going there, me thinking I got Oda foreshadowing. No, bitch, I just pulled that shit out of my ass. Anyways, so when so it starts. She lives at the Avenger Tower, obviously with the whole gang during Civil War. She does not side with Tony, even though that's her dad. Because like in the actual like fight war where it's like they're picking sides fighting in the airport, she picks Steve because she fucks heavy with Steve and Bucky. And she's like, love you dad, but like Bucky's innocent. Like, no, like that wasn't him. That wasn't him. And like I know what that's like, bruh. That wasn't him. So she ends up on their side, whatever. She ends up fighting Peter for the first time there. And then, like, because she got, like, that AI in her head, she was, they was like, we can tell you the identity of the Spider-Man because he's wearing, like, Tony Stark's suit. And she's like, nah, I don't give a shit. Low-key, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So, she could have found out Peter's identity there. And I remember, I got a comment being like, how the hell is that possible? I said, bitch, I don't fucking know. It's like, girl, I was, like, 14. I don't give a shit. So I remember that, and then whatever she was on, and then Tony was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to wherever the fuck they fought at, and you're gonna come with." And she said, "Okay." So she went along, and then she ended up she didn't join the fight between Tony, Steve, and Bucky. She was like low key. She was like, "I'm gonna hang out with T'Challa because I see him there," and he was like, "I know you," and she's like, "What? What?" And he was like, "You were the actual child on the battlefield." On the fucking at the airport, and she was like, yeah, low key. So they were low key chilling. They low key like squashed any beef that they might have had because they were on opposite sides. And then what else happened? She, put on house arrest because her dad was like, you're done, bitch, you're done being the stupid bitch. He was like, you're gonna go to school. So he enrolls her into Midtown High. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, Midtown Tech. She's enrolled there. However, she didn't know that Peter was Spider-Man, and she didn't know that he went to that school, so she just naturally befriended him. But when she when she enrolled into school was the week that Peter was in Germany because that's where they fought, obviously. But because she can like hyperspeed her ass there with a plane jet because her father's a trillionaire, she was able to come back before he was. That's why she was already enrolled and shit. So she befriended Ned before she befriended Peter. That's how she ended up in that group of friends anyways. Because she befriended Ned. That's the story. And she like befriended MJ and Ned and whatever the fuck. So, she's a part of the little friend group, but she's not Gemini at this point. She's Reader. And then like I honest to fucking God don't remember. Oh, it's that scene where Peter saves the tower, the fucking what is it, the Washington Monument. It's like that scene, but instead of it being Peter, Gemini pulls up because obviously my bitch. She didn't want to go in the elevator. She was like, hell no, I don't trust that shit. So Reader didn't go in, but she ended up saving them in the end because obviously she wasn't in there, so she was able to transform and save the day. So it undercut Peter low-key. I didn't give a shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about men's rights. I'm gonna give all their accomplishments to women. So anyways, Peter gets a scolding, whatever. Gemini scolds the shit out of him. She ends up like, they're like, no, now we gotta swing home from Washington D.C. to New York. You want to be a little pussy boy and do some bullshit now. Because Loki was like, wasn't it his fault? I don't remember. Honestly, God, I don't remember what happened in that movie, but I low-key think it was his fault. So, I low-key think that shit happened at the Washington Monument was his fault. I'm just gonna say it was. So, like, she low-key was like, you little bitch boy, keep on swinging. So, and I remember I made Reader have a crush on Peter Parker. And I remember in the beginning I was like, Reader and Gemini are not the same person. Trust. But I made, I don't know why I made Reader have a crush on Peter Parker. Not Peter Parker, on Spider-Man. Just for shits and gigs. I don't fucking know. And then what else happened? The whole incident happened with the boats. I honestly God don't remember what fucking bullshit I wrote, but all I know is that, Gemini finds Reader finds Peter when he's on the beach already, like, dead and shit. Not dead, but, like, after fighting the vulture. So then she's like, oh my god, Peter. And then he's like, oh my god, Reader. And they're like, hey. And then they Loki started fucking dating or whatever. Well, they didn't start dating. They, like, liked each other, I think is what I wrote, or some shit like that. I think they might have kissed. I don't fucking remember. I don't remember. I'm not reading it. And then it cuts to, obviously, Infinity War, because that's next. They were on the bus, right? They were on the bus, but before they got on the bus, Reader didn't get on the bus. She was like, I don't fucking trust this shit. Gemini, before she even stepped on, she was like, something feels weird. So she was like, I'm actually gonna go. So she ended up not going to the thing. And I remember when she was leaving, because she obviously went to meet up with Peter, and Aunt May was like, take care of Peter for me, please. And she's like, of course, girl. Concerning what happens in Infinity War, didn't happen. And then, so before she gets on the bus, she's like, hey, like, look, something feels weird. Go on. Why she tells the school bus to go on without me is crazy, because that would never happen in IRL, but whatever. She, like, ran off or something. I think she was like, I actually gotta go, so there's an emergency. Peace. I think she told that to the teacher or some shit. She found Tony. She's like, guys, like, there's something going on. And then she ends up with the whole Tony, Doctor Strange, Bruce incident. That's how she ends up there. And then her and Peter, like, obviously how they snuck onto the ship. They did that this time. They got their ass yelling or whatever. And then, what is it? I think Peter was like, low-key, like, we should date. And then she was like, what? She was like, what? I remember, like, she declined or some shit. It was like, she was like, how about we save this for when we're not actually lost in space? Thanks. I think that's what she said or some shit like that. And then obviously they end up, the whole situation, how Endgame happens. She ends up fighting Thanos. For some reason, I made the 16-year-old fight Thanos. She deadass dies. But she doesn't die because she can produce her bullshit, whatever. She produces, like, a knife thing, and she, like, goes to stab him, but he takes it and stabs her instead, like, very, very badly, to the point where she's like, yeah, I'm actually gonna die. And then I remember, Steven was like, make sure they don't die, or whatever. And then, obviously, it's just her and Tony, because she didn't blip in the thing, everybody else did, but her and Tony. So she's like, shit, I'm actually gonna fucking die here. Because they were on a because he was like, make sure she doesn't die. So they're on the ship, obviously, doing whatever the fuck that they did, after Infinity War into Endgame. And she's like, she's like low-key dead on the floor, like, body cold. She was like, I think I'm going to die here. What the fuck? She obviously doesn't die there because, Carol Danvers, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Captain Marvel saves them. I'm trying to remember her name. Captain Marvel saves them, obviously, how it happens in Endgame. She low-key yells at Steve. She's like, fuck you, bitch. You left all of us. Fuck you, fuck you. Yada yada. She's like yelling the whole shit. And then they're like, okay, like we have to somehow find the stones. And then Gemini, Reader, she ends up joining Steve, Tony. What is it? Steve, Tony, Ant-Man, Bruce. She ends up joining them on the way back to 2012. She somehow runs into a tiny Peter. She's like, holy shit, that's Peter. That's my dead boyfriend. Even though they technically weren't dating. Whatever. She's like, Loki, I just saw my dead boyfriend when he was like a child and I'm gonna kill myself. He was like, chill out. They were like, chill out, chill out. And then, they're getting the Tesseract. Somehow it falls. And somehow, I don't remember what the fuck I wrote, but Loki takes the Tesseract and kidnaps the Reader. I know why he did it. I'm trying to remember why he fucking did it in the thing. I'm not gonna read this, so I'm trying to remember why he did it. But he kidnapped her, and then Tony's like flipping the fuck out. And low-key, I made Steve a bitch. I was like, Steve was like, the mission to go back. And Tony's like, I don't give a shit about the fucking mission. That's my daughter, bruh. Because at this point, it's the 5-year gap, and he, like, that's his fucking kid. He's like, yeah, no, I don't give a shit. I said, hey, I would only do this if it doesn't compromise the fact that my family is here. Like, he's like, I have my wife, I have my 2 daughters. Like, I'm not compromising this shit for this mission. He was like, my daughter's fucking missing, and I don't give a shit if we only have one way back. I'm gonna use it to find where the fuck my daughter is. So, like, he's flipping the fuck out. But then, what's it? I think Tony was like, if you want to if you want to go back to where the fuck Timbuktu, or if you're gonna get your little other fucking Tesseract and your bullshit, go right a fucking head. He was like, I'm gonna go try to find my fucking kid, bruh. And then in the story, I had Gemini come back with the Tesseract. So they didn't really have to do that, but her hands were burned from holding it. I don't remember why I did that. But, so they didn't have to go back, but Steve did, I guess. Whatever. Mind you, I'm only on Endgame, and I still have to go through the part where I get into, whatchamacallit. I get into, Far From Home. Because that shit is actually really good. Hey, Far From Home, actually, I'm not gonna lie, pretty good shit I was writing. Because I also pulled that shit out of my ass. Because I, like, from the second I saw the trailer, I was like, I already know what I'm gonna write about. So, whatever, they make it back, and then this time they had, so because obviously Peter is 16, 17, and Reader is 23, I was like, ain't no fucking way there's gonna be, like, an age gap. I'm not doing this. It's not gonna be, like, a weird, like, I guess, whatever, okay. So I had, instead of Bruce snapping everybody back, I had the Reader do it. That's why, Doctor Strange wanted her alive. And in her mind, the first, like, they're like, just think about reviving people. And she was thinking that, but she was like, I also want to be back with Peter. So then when she snapped, ended up reversing her age to be 17 again, to, like, be his age. So now she's child appropriate to be in a relationship with a teenager. So that's why I had her snap. So that's why she was so important to stay alive or whatever. They all fight. She like goes Super Saiyan or some shit. I don't fucking know. She gets overpowered Super Saiyan. She takes down a ship with Captain Marvel. Then she low-key, like, pukes her guts out. And she's like, y'all, please give me some booze. I need some shit. And they're like, you're a child. And she's like, well, I technically wasn't. I'm technically 23. And then she sees Peter. She gives him a hug. She's like, oh my god, I thought you were dead. And then, like, some bullshit happens. She's like, wait, later. We'll catch up later, bitch. They go continue fighting. Then when Tony dies, I had, like, reading that shit, low-key, like, when I would reread it, I was looking, and low-key, that shit made me tear up, because just that scene overall, makes me cry. Tony dying, that shit made me cry a lot. So I remember watching that, reading that, wrote about that, and then at the funeral, and then the funeral ended with, what was it, Pepper was like, I will see you inside, and she's like, okay, just give me a minute, staring out at the pond, and then she gets, like, chloroformed and kidnapped. Right. She gets kidnapped. And then, she's missing now. So people are like, the fallen soldiers, Black Widow, Vision, Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Gemini. I was like, okay, now she's dead. Right? Because technically she's not missing, but people just assume she fucking died. But Peter's like, I know she's not dead. He's like, he's like, I don't like her anymore. Like, I like MJ now. And then Ned was like, boy, shut the hell up, boy. And then, so Peter's like obviously trying to move on with MJ. And then I made MJ actually like Brad in the story. So I was like, who gives a shit? I was like, because I love my girl MJ down, Zendaya. But I was like, this is not being a competition in my story right now. So I had her not like Peter at all. And then when they were obviously in Venice and they got attacked by the water monster for the first night, because obviously I had because MJ's favorite flower, he got her a glass black dahlia necklace. In the story, I made him like subconsciously he was gonna go for the black dahlia, but like subconsciously he got Reader's favorite flower, which what I made it was lilies. So I was like, he actually accidentally bought a glass lily necklace instead of a glass black dahlia necklace because he was subconsciously thinking about the Reader. OMG. And then obviously they had the water monster, but then you could see that there was somebody controlling it, and it was this woman with, all like the Winter Soldier task suit, but like red tips because her shit. You know how like what's his face? What's his face? Mysterio, he has like the green farts, the green farty aura. She had red auras, so she was basically like the red version of that. So they were like fighting, and that's like he destroyed the monster, but like he destroyed her, and she like disappeared or whatever. Like she went flying. It's like, oh my god, like he saved the day. But Peter was like, what the fuck? She looks familiar. And then he's like, wait a minute. It's like Loki chasing her, and she's like running off, and he's like, wait, and she didn't stop, whatever. So then he's like, that Loki, like they got what is it, surveillance? Like they saw videos of it on the TV, and he was like, wait a minute, that fucking looks like Reader. That looks like Gemini. And they were like, oh, who is this? What is this? This is Madam Hydra. Madam Hydra. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is it? No. They don't pin it that, but they show her. They're like, who the hell is this mysterious woman? And then they have obviously the second night where they do that shit again. But like, this time she's attacking Peter. She's like actively fighting Peter, so Peter knows it's her. And then like he says something. He says some shit, and she like low-key was like, wait. She's like, I can't fight him. That's the love of my life, or some shit like that. And then like she low-key gets like hijacked. Like her brainwashing gets like low-key a little highwired, whatever. So her like brainwashing low-key fails. And then what happens? She's like kind of back into it, back to like her right state of mind. And MJ sees her this time. MJ's like, hey, like, is that you? And she's like, oh shit. She literally like bolts it, and she's like, hey. And she like tries chasing after her. She's like, what the fuck? Because they were like BFFs, mind you. In the stories, I wrote them to be BFFs because I love my girl down. And then Peter obviously is at the little pub thing with Mysterio or whatever. He gives him the glasses. He leaves. And then once he leaves, he's like, all right, bring her out. And then they actually drag in like drugged out fucking Reader. And he's like, oh, this one trying to get away, huh? It was like her biggest weakness happens to be the fucking kid. Of course it is. Of course her biggest weakness is Peter fucking Parker. But luckily for us, his greatest weakness is also her. We know that for a fact. So they're like, yippee, we can keep harassing her because like we just whatever. So because Peter was like, I just want to be a normal life. I just want to be with my girlfriend Reader. He's like, whatever bullshit. So he was like, we're gonna kidnap her one more time. So they get her, and I'm pretty sure the next biggest attack that happened was at not the London Bridge. That's not what it's called, but I think it's that one with like the final battle. I'm pretty sure that's the train. I remember the train. Oh my god. Peter's low-key going crazy because they like expose the fact that he was like, because obviously the whole thing that it was exposed or whatever, that he's a bad guy or whatever. So obviously the whole incident with he's going crazy, he starts toying with he starts using Reader as like a toy in his thing. So then when instead of it being MJ that he drops, it's the Reader, and like they do a whole bit where when Mysterio gets shot, like pretend shot by Nick Fury and stuff, they have it that they like pull out Reader, and she's like, oh my god, like I'm free from his brainwashing, like he kidnapped and brainwashed me, yada yada. And they're like, she was like, come on, Peter, like who all knows about like Spider-Man or some shit like that, or like about Mysterio being a fake, like who knows about that? Like she was the one who was like, instead of it being Nick Fury, it was Reader who was insisting that she give that information. And then you can like, he's like, oh my god, it's these and this. And then I'm pretty sure he's Quentin Beck. Mysterio starts talking through Reader's like body, so it's like she's talking but it's his voice. He's like, oh Peter, you're so gullible, you fucking loser. So then like all the holograph goes back and it's actually her, like eyes bloodshot, like not bloodshot red but like glowing red, like she's under a brainwash. And then like he gets hit by the train, obviously he's like going crazy. And then obviously the one last big attack at the end of the movie, he has Reader obviously attack Ned, MJ, Flash, and whatever the fuck, and Betty. So she's attacking them. But and Happy's there too, and Happy obviously knows who the fuck the Reader is, because obviously he was Tony Stark's fucking butler. Not butler, but like driver and shit like that. So obviously he knows. And then they were like, just start saying anecdotes, happy memories about it to her. And that got her out of the brainwashing, because like she was about to like get them, but then they snuck up on her and like whacked the shit out of her head, and she like got freed or something. I don't know, I freed her. She was fine. Peter defeated Quentin Beck, obviously. They rescued the Reader or whatever. And then at the end, when obviously Quentin Beck is like, Spider-Man is Peter Parker, when they like did that bullshit. And he also was like, oh, and Madame Hydra, the fucking bitch who's attacking everyone, was Gemini Stark the whole time, who's actually Reader last name, like the whole thing. And boom, that's how it ended. That's how the story ended. My recap of it was very bad, but the story was also not that really good either. And then I had another one. We are way past time to go into that one and any other bullshit that I had conjured up for this. I didn't even go into making edits, because that's a whole thing of itself. But yeah, I guess that's all. I guess that's all the time we have now. I deep dived into my edits, and yeah, I have not posted another, not edits, fanfiction at my grown ass age. I don't write fanfiction, obviously, not anymore. I'm grown the fuck up. I don't have time for that shit. Yeah, it was crazy, and I always ended it being like, I don't know what to fucking write, so I give up. I remember I did that for another fic too. It was another Peter Parker fic, and it had a decent amount. And like, and I did not know what to write. All I know is I was gonna end with the Reader dying. I didn't have an ending, and it's always end with somebody dying. So I had an ending that she was going to die, and that she was the daughter of Doctor Strange. And that's it. I had absolutely nothing else. I had no idea what to fill in the middle. I gave up. I literally was writing it. And the next chapter, I like wrote a chapter, and the next chapter was like, yeah, guys, I low-key give a fuck. I don't give a shit about this story. Peace! I said, yeah, you're lucky I didn't fucking delete this. I'm just gonna leave it here. If anybody wants to reread the 3 chapters I published, that's about it. I was like, but other than that, I'm not continuing the story, so don't expect an update. Peace. Never uploaded to AO3. I've only ever uploaded to Instagram and Wattpad. But yeah, like as I said, that is all for today's episode. I just exposed a very vulnerable part of myself. My digital footprint, it's never gonna come back from this, because I don't think it can. Alright, thank y'all. Love y'all. Bye.